All right, good morning. I am Sergeant Nick Abe. I'm one of the patrol sergeants here for the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office. I'm also one of the public information officers. I want to thank our media partners for coming today for this event. Joining us today are the representatives from Clear Creek County as well as Park County, the town of Georgetown, Clear Creek County Tourism Bureau, the Clear Creek County Fire Authority, the Platte Canyon Fire and EMS, our Alpine Rescue Team, and the Colorado Department of Transportation. Speaking to you guys today will be Clear Creek County Commissioner Rebecca Lloyd, Park County Commissioner Jason Gimmer, thank you, Park County Undersheriff Steve Spodiak, Clear Creek County Sheriff Matt Harris, Georgetown Police Judge Georgia Kofed. Their names and titles are provided to you guys in the press kit. After Police Judge Kofed goes, we'll have time for questions and answers. And at this time, I will turn the mic over to Commissioner Lloyd.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for coming up to beautiful Guanella Pass Summit. I know it was a haul for some of you, but I think it's important to be here to let you see the width of the road, the twisty turnies, and anyway, Guanella Pass is a treasure, especially in the later fall when the golden aspen leaves bring thousands of visitors, which is wonderful for our communities and our economy, but Guanella Pass can be loved to death. As the number of visitors increases, we face challenges with overcrowding on Guanella Pass Road, people parking illegally, or stopping in traffic lanes to take photos of moose on the side of the road. Not only is it unsafe, but it blocks the roadway for other visitors and emergency vehicles, which tend to be wider than normal sedans. Last year's glorious aspen resulted in not only gridlock on the pass in Georgetown, but it seemed like all of Denver was coming up I-70 that weekend. I was stuck for 2 hours on I-70, so I know there's a ripple effect. This year, Clear Creek and Park counties, the town of Georgetown, CDOT, the Fire Authority, the Sheriff, and the U.S. Forest Service have worked hard on plans to not only regulate traffic on Guanella Pass, but also to encourage responsible leaf peeping. We are providing visitor guidance to peep, P-E-E-P, responsibly. The first P is park only in designated areas. We have parking lots, we have places with green parking signs, and there are also legal pull-off areas as long as no part of your vehicle is on the roadway, and that includes your tires. Expect heavy traffic and delays. You can check cotrip.org and traffic or map apps to be able to estimate how long the drive will be. Second E, exercise patience. If traffic is heavy, take a break. Stop, shop, dine, explore our communities down the hill, this hill. Plan ahead. Consider visiting on a weekday as opposed to the weekend. Weekends get 2.5 times more traffic than weekdays. Guanella Pass has seen over 10,000 cars a day on heavy leaf peeping weekends. Pack water, food, other necessities in the event of long delays. Guanella Pass is a treasure for everyone. If we peep responsibly, we can make the experience enjoyable and keep residents and visitors safe. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Park County Commissioner Jason Gimmer.
I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to echo the appreciation for the collaborating agencies that and the partnership with these agencies that have been working together since last fall in Guanella Pass to keep this pass safer for everyone during leaf peeping season. When the cars park illegally and in no parking zones or off the roadways, it puts lives at risk. If medical emergency occurs on the pass or a wildfire should happen, ambulance, fire trucks, and law enforcement must be able to get to these locations in a timely manner and without delay. Cars parked on the roadway turns a two-lane road into a one-lane road. This causes emergency vehicles to have to drive slowly and or always stop for oncoming traffic before it clears. Seconds matter in emergencies, as we all know. Any blocked road could be the difference between life and death in these situations. To echo Commissioner Lloyd's, visitors should peep responsibly. Parking in designated areas only. Vehicles cannot park and stop on the side of the road in non-parking areas. Expect delays, especially visiting in the weekend, during the weekends. It really has a huge impact on how many people come up here on the weekends, can cause huge issues with being able to travel the roads. Aggressive driving. So you've got to exercise patience. Aggressive driving, illegally parking creates dangerous conditions on these roads for everyone. In the event of heavy traffic, bring plenty of water and other necessary supplies, because you may be stuck in traffic for a while. This campaign is about respecting the land, respecting each other, and ensuring our first responders can do their jobs. We want everyone to enjoy the fall colors, but safely. Please peep responsibly so that everyone, visitors, locals, and first responders can share the roads and share this incredible space up here. Thank you very much.
Said good morning. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Commissioner Gemmer. And I would just like to reiterate that we need all visitors to Guanella Pass to peep responsibly and keep themselves and their fellow nature lovers safe. I'm here to tell you why we're here and some of the why behind why we're doing this. So during this time of year, the number of visitors to the Guanella Pass area increases by tens of thousands. In fact, last year, on one of the peak weekends, we experienced 25 to 30,000 vehicles on Guanella Pass. In one of the peak days, between 1 and 4 p.m., we had over 10,000 vehicles traverse the pass. This is a narrow 2-lane mountain pass, and it's not capable of handling that type of traffic volume. Vehicles last year were illegally parked on both sides of the roadway in both Clear Creek and Park counties. And when that happens, like we've heard before, it makes it difficult for emergency vehicles to respond to emergencies and makes a narrow 2-lane road into a 1-lane road with both directions of traffic trying to utilize it at the same time. So I think we understand how that can be an issue, and a large emergency vehicle like the fire truck that we have here is even a bigger issue for a vehicle like that to try to make it through the overcrowded roadways. Parking on the roadways also puts drivers and passengers at risk, exiting their vehicles in this same narrow scenario that we've talked about. And illegal parking on the shoulders and in the roadways really delays emergency responses. Emergency vehicles responding to an incident, if there's vehicles in front of them that have nowhere to go to yield to those emergency vehicles, then they're not able to get to the emergency any faster than the traffic is moving. As an example, on the Park County side, last fall in September, there was a rollover vehicle crash approximately 6 miles up the pass from Highway 285. It was originally dispatched as an unknown injury rollover crash, which would warrant a fire and medical response. One of our patrol deputies was the first emergency responder to arrive from the Bailey area, and it took them 41 minutes to get there. A normal response time to that location would have been about 15 to 20 minutes. The first ambulance to arrive on scene for that rollover crash took 55 minutes from their fire station, which a normal response time to that location with normal traffic would be maybe 20 to 25 minutes. So minutes matter in these scenarios. Emergency vehicles need to be able to respond to all sorts of emergencies, and the roadway needs to be clear in order to do that. Seconds can be the difference between life and death when someone is experiencing a traumatic injury from a fall on a hike, possibly cardiac arrest, or maybe a very worst case scenario if a child were struck in the roadway because of the extreme and heavy traffic conditions. So Clear Creek and Park counties have an obligation to ensure the safety of our residents and the visitors visiting our counties during leaf peeping season, as we do always. Last year could have ended in tragedy, and luckily it didn't. So this year we are taking proactive measures to ensure unimpeded emergency access to Guanella Pass at all times. And with that, I'd like to introduce Clear Creek County Sheriff Harris to explain some of the measures we're taking.
Thank you, Undersheriff. As the Undersheriff described, we had a similar incident last year. On September 29th of last year, we had a cardiac arrest at the summit. An emergency response was significantly delayed due to illegally parked vehicles. We had to use life flight, and we had to land transport the person off the mountain. Thankfully, she survived. This year, we decided we needed to get ahead of this, and that's why we're here today. This year, Alpine Rescue has already rescued 9 people from Mount Bierstadt. Alpine Rescue has been utilized over 65 times in Clear Creek County, just this year. We will be implementing the following changes this fall. Parking enforcement. Please park in designated areas only. There's both parking lots at the summit. Please pull off the roadway. There is no parking on the roadway, and county ordinance prohibits parking on the roadway. There is no parking and no stoppage signs all along Guanella Pass, and we encourage everybody to follow those signs. Let me be clear. If you are parked on the roadway, we will tow you. If we do tow you, we have a plan, and our detentions vehicle will bring you back down the mountain, and the vehicles will be shuttled to the Geneva Basin tow lot. There may be brief closures. Please be patient if there are brief closures. We hope not to do that. There's going to be limited access at times during these closures, but local residents with active permits and hunters will be able to access Guanella Pass. In closing, our priority is public safety. And illegal parking and overcrowding on the pass puts people's lives at risk. We want everybody to come here and leaf peep responsibly. We also want you to come on a Tuesday or Wednesday, take off of work, play hooky, you know, your boss, don't tell your boss. But come up here on the weekend. Come up here during the week. Restaurants are open, stores are open, and you know, if we spread it out, the experience for everybody will be much better. With that said, I'd like to turn it over to Georgetown and Georgia COFED. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, hi everybody. I'm here on behalf of Georgetown. Very excited to be up here on the top of Guanella Pass. Georgetown is very proud to be part of a landmark historic district and also the gateway to Guanella Pass, which is one of the top scenic byways in our state. And obviously we know the challenges that we're facing this year. Georgetown is open for business and ready for our visitors. We also have been working very closely with the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office, Colorado State Patrol, and other agencies to ensure that traffic flows as well as it possibly can. You've heard about last year. We know that we're trying to avoid as many snarls as possible, especially in Georgetown at our I-70 ingress, exit, and entrance onto the highway, and at the base of Guanella Pass. So please, as you come into Georgetown, pay attention to the traffic directions and signage in our one-way streets. Our businesses are ready to welcome you, however, so before you come up the pass, as you're leaving the pass, please stop in Georgetown. We have fabulous things to do there, from our Georgetown Lake, where we have trails and a restaurant, to our I-70 roundabout, where we have restaurants and shops in our visitor center, to our charming and historic downtown area. We have parking for you. We've had museums, shops, restaurants, all ready to welcome our visitors. And of course, patience. We love patience. And as you hit our town, please remember too, we have lots of parks, places if you want to sit and soak. You can, we have people parks where you can take your four-legged besties. And we have a dog park, Whirlin Park, where your four-legged friends can take their two-legged besties. And if you want to check out more information, please go to georgetown-colorado.org. So, Chasing Aspen Gold, iconic Colorado experience, which we all want to share and enjoy. And you've heard it, and I'll repeat it. Peep responsibly, and Georgetown looks forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Give me 1 second. Okay, so thank you very much, Police Judge Kofed, and all of our speakers that came today. We are able to take a few questions if you guys have any at this time.
Has there been any thought about potentially like a shuttle service coming up here to kind of reduce the amount of cars on the roadway?
Anyone want to answer that? You want to answer that, Eric?
Eric, if you could introduce.
Yeah, I'm Eric Rubin, captain with the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office. The thought of a shuttle has actually come up relatively recently. Probably a little bit too late to try to arrange it for this weekend's events, but it certainly is an excellent topic as we prepare for next year's events. This proactive plan that we have in place this year is going to be tweaked, adjusted, and made as good as it can be, and I think that's an excellent possibility for the future.
Now, was it really that emergency that happened last year, or has it just been so many more people are coming up Guanella Pass compared to years in the past?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I think what we've seen in Colorado, not just on Guanella Pass, but on the state as a whole over the last decade, is a lot of growth. And we don't necessarily have the infrastructure to support that effectively when it increases in a vast amount like we see here on Guanella Pass. So while the events last year really brought to light, at least on the public safety side, that there were issues up here that we need to address, this is something that has been building slowly over the last several years. And like the captain said, we're doing something about it this year, and we please don't expect this to be perfect, because we are not expecting this to be a perfect scenario, but we plan on making it safer for everyone, and we want next year to be better than this year, and it to increasingly get better, a better experience for everyone involved as we continue this, as the leaves change every fall.
Now, I know that we were up here last week, but we noticed more signage on the side of the roadways telling people not to park. Obviously, you can't have signs on every single, half a mile. Can you guys really kind of reiterate the county ordinance when it comes to parking on the side of the road?
So ordinances 13 and 14 are the ones in the Clear Creek County Traffic Code that address the parking issue. But basically, the roadway is a throughway. That's where traveling vehicles go. So it prohibits parking or stopping on that roadway for obvious reasons. It's a very narrow road, and frankly, if you did that sort of thing, if you even parked on a roadway in municipality in the metropolitan area, you would expect the same sort of a response. Vehicle would be removed from the roadway and ticketed as well, most likely. And so we're following that same general theory that it's a throughway, it's for everyone's safety. All it takes is one vehicle to do this, And we have a stoppage that can affect potentially, thousands of people, which we can't afford to do.
So even if there's not a sign there, it doesn't, you can't, even if there's no sign, like no parking sign, you still can't park.
It really comes down to common sense. You just don't park in the middle of a street. And you don't need a sign specifically to tell you not to do that. Now, we have some reminder signs along the pathway, along the roadway, that sort of, in theory, are supposed to give people a reminder of what they should already know, essentially. And we also have electronic signboards, both at the entrance to Guanella Pass in the Georgetown area, and we have another one that currently is set up just inside Clear Creek County, just after you leave Park County. It's my understanding that we're going to have 3 additional signs that basically they're going to simply tell people no parking or stopping on the roadway. And it will alternate with a message that says violators will be ticketed and towed, and they will be.
So one of the big differences between the Metro and here is the cell service. So you get your car towed up here and you've got no cell service. What do you do, and can you explain how that process is going to work? Is there a note? How do you know where your car's been taken?
We have a couple thoughts on that. Yes, we have actually created a small letter-sized note. Now, in reality, probably the best we can do is place it under a rock in the location approximately where the vehicle was parked. Now, is it clumsy? Yes, it is. Is it perhaps effective? We're going to find out, because this is the first year we've done this. At the same time, we're going to have a sheriff's van that will drive up and down Guanella Pass Road as a shuttle system. So in theory, if your car has been impounded or towed and you're looking for some explanation as to what happened, you'll be flagging that person down. Plus, we will have marked patrol cars and so forth going up and down the road. So we will have the ability to shuttle people to the location of the towing. And we're not saying this is convenient. Frankly, having your car towed is inconvenient. At the same time, be with you in a second. At the same time, blocking the roadway inconveniences a lot of people. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a different situation.
Yes, sir.
It occurs before leaf-peeping. My name is Steve Banowski. I'm the senior member trail crew leader for the Colorado Mountain Club. And with me today is Madeline Bachner-Lane. She's our CEO, and she can answer general questions about responsible recreation.
Okay.
I led a half a dozen trips up here this year, and when the parking enforcement started, all of a sudden we were blindsided. No warning, no nothing other than what I saw on an e-newsletter. And we're not just carrying our packs like the peak baggers do. We're carrying heavy tools and working on the Square Top Lakes Trail. And right now our work site is more than a mile in, and we have to haul all those tools in.
Sure.
And so what I'm getting at is I hope to be back up here next year if the Forest Service approves. And we all know what's happened to the federal land agency staffing this year. So our club is putting in sweat equity to maintain a very heavily used beginner trail. So it would be really good for us, since I do have to run some Saturday trips so our people who work can come up, to have a couple of designated parking places set aside for volunteer trail people. And if the Forest Service approves our list next March and April, I mean, I'll be happy to give the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Department the list of days that we'll be up here on a Saturday, so that we can have some consideration for our members who are hauling heavy tools in. And I want to make good use of their time, because we all know what the weather can do up here.
Sure.
And if we're a mile and a half in hauling 30 pounds of extra tools, well, you get the picture.
Yeah, and we certainly understand your concerns, and we appreciate the work that you're doing. I think that's an excellent conversation we can take offline, because it probably involves a little more planning than I can do here at the podium. But we certainly are hearing you, and we recognize your needs, and let's talk about this after the meeting.
In the past, have you guys towed cars? I don't feel like I've heard about this before.
I'm sorry?
Prior to this year, have you guys towed cars off the pass, like in the amount that you have so far this year?
You know, that's not something I can speak to. I wasn't here during that prior event.
No.
Go ahead.
No, we have not towed cars prior to this year, but this is, the next step of enforcement of if the tickets are not enough, now we need to step it up to the cars are going to be towed. So that this is our next step of enforcement.
And if I could just put in a pitch for the Clear Creek community, there was chaos last year. It was untenable. The emergency vehicles could not get up. People were parking every which way, and so it's serious. We have to be able to get cars out of the way. If we ticket someone who's climbing Bierstadt, you know, they're not going to be moving their car for, you know, maybe 5 hours or more. And so that's why we had to tow. And that was supported by the community and people who want to, you know, drive up this beautiful pass. You can't have, and the thing is, when you talk about parking on the side of the road, people take that and then kind of park both their wheels on the road or half their car on the road, and our vehicles just couldn't get through, and it was a dangerous situation.
My last question, so if there's no place to park, turn around and go home?
Well, I think we can talk about that.
No, stop in Georgetown.
There's always that.
Yeah, absolutely. Come visit.
Please understand that in prior years, law enforcement's response was just that. It was reactive. This year, we're being proactive. We're attempting to plan for a potential everyone's safety. The idea here is not to stop people, not to tow their cars, not to cite them. That's not our preference. The preference is to keep traffic moving. And I think that's going to involve the cooperation of all the people who come up here to visit. They may hopefully be traveling at a relatively slow speed. They can see the leaves, but we want to keep them moving so that the necessity for citing people and towing vehicles isn't going to be there. Now, if the road was to become so absolutely clogged that traffic couldn't move and we identified a public safety issue based on that, we might have a temporary detour to keep additional vehicles from entering Guanella Pass Road. That's not our desire. That's not our first priority. That's a fallback if the situation calls for it. Any other questions? Thank you.
All right, so just to wrap up, if you guys have any follow-up questions after this press conference today, you can feel free to reach out to Jenny Fulton with the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office, Megan Heiler with the Clear Creek County Public Information Office, and Joe Keats with the Park County Public Information Office. All the contact information has been provided in today's press release packet. I want to thank you all for coming up here and helping us raise the awareness for this year's Guanella Pass Safety Plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.